as we're in this election night for the Georgia Senate runoff, there's this narrative that I've been hearing that Herschel Walker is a victim of the Republican Party. He's a victim of the GOP. They are taking advantage of him. I want to be really clear here. Herschel Walker is not a victim.
No.
Herschel Walker, he may not be able to pull a sentence together, but he knows exactly what he is doing. Herschel Walker is a grifter.
Yes.
He found an opportunity, he narrowed in on it, and he has a bunch of rich people in the GOP who are supporting him. He is not being victimized. The people of Georgia are being victimized. The American people are being victimized.
We're the victims.
Herschel Walker, exactly. This idea, and I've seen some op-ed pieces. Oh my gosh, they're using him. He's unwell. He has mental health issues. No, he is not a victim. He knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, I could go on and on. This isn't that unique of a playbook. He's following this Black Republican, Black conservative script, and not the one of Colin Powell, not the one of Michael Steele, who are credible, who had receipts, who had history, right? Herschel Walker is no victim.
No.
He wants proximity to power. He is an opportunist. Stop trying to give him a sad story. He is a rich, privileged guy with lots of money that's allegedly, according to his own son, threatened his son and his son's mother with violence. According to the women in his life, allegedly paid for abortions. He's not a victim. Stop saying that.
Right.
He knows exactly what he is doing every step of the way. He wants to win only for power. He's an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. He has no empathy. He is egregious. He is insidious. I know we think he can't put a sentence together. I know plenty of people who can't put a sentence together and they're still hustlers.
Hello, come on.
Right?
Come on.
He's a scam artist. He's a con. That's what he is. So I want to be clear about that. Let's stop the victim narrative. Herschel Walker is good. And even if he loses, Reese, he's going to be all right. He'll be speaking at CPAC and Turning Point USA. He'll release another book. It'll go on and on. He's set for the rest of his privileged life. He's no victim. I just want to say that.
Period. We're the victims. As a matter of fact, I think in 20 years, like those Camp Lejeune ads, if you've been to Camp Lejeune, you deserve a settlement. I think we're going to be getting a settlement from Herschel Walker's campaign, actually the whole 2022 midterms, because there's a lot of people that have victimized us with their stupidity. Okay, stop it. He's a grown ass man who embarked upon this journey because he's delusional and because he's power hungry.
Yes.
That's it. We don't have to cape for Herschel Walker. If you're going to cape for anybody, cape for Warnock. Like, the thing about it that's crazy is he's going up against a Black man. Like, I get if it was like a white man and you're like, I don't feel comfortable dogging out this Black man when we up against the white man. There are some Black people that have that tribalism, and I couldn't even 100% be mad at that. But he's going up against another Black man, so we can drag him to hell and back, and it's okay. It's not a betrayal to the Black race. Come on.
And Reese, let's remind people that Herschel Walker is the one who keeps bringing up race. Senator Warnock has not once mentioned Herschel Walker being a Black man. I have heard Herschel Walker say all he does is talk about race. All he does. Senator Warnock hasn't done that. No. But like many Black conservatives and many Black Republicans, they have an obsession with race. They have an obsession with saying, I am a free thinker. I think differently. No one's talking about your race except for you. Except for you. You're harping on it. Lindsey Graham almost broke down in tears.
God.
A Black conservative will get my smelling salts. Like, come on now. Because that's their cover. Well, if we find the Black conservative, if we have a Herschel Walker, we just can't be racist. If we have a Winsome Sears in Virginia who thinks critical race theory is terrible, we can't be racist. If we have a Condoleezza Rice who says that Confederate monuments shouldn't be taken down, we can't be racist. Come on now.
You know what I wonder? You know what I wonder?
What do you wonder? What do you wonder?
You know,
And Condoleezza Rice is brilliant, I must say, but her politics are terrible. And I think
right.
she has some opportunist ways
Oh,
too, just my opinion.
if you're a
Yeah.
Republican, politics are about opportunism. That's just the name of the game. But I wonder, like, if you are like a Black Republican that knows how to formulate this, and just like a Tim Scott, whatever you think about him, I wonder if he'd be looking at Herschel Walker like this motherfucker right here. Like, I just wonder, like, I know he would never say anything publicly, but just the name, because there has to be a little Black, little text group, little DM group or something. They got you. That's just a Black thing. I think it probably crosses party lines. And I just want to know what they say on Signal or in the DMs about a Herschel Walker or some of these other Diamond and Silks or whoever, because they got to be like, I can't believe this shit. Y'all look at this shit. They have to be.
Well, it hurts. I mean, it hurts them all.
Right.
You know, and let's be clear. Someone like a Senator Tim Scott at this point is even more dangerous than a Herschel Walker, because Senator Tim Scott is in office and he lied allegedly about the George Floyd Policing Act, saying that it defunded police when it actually didn't. And folks like Cory Booker and Rep. Karen Bass, who was the first woman to be elected of mayor of LA, thought that, you know, he was working with them. So Senator Tim Scott is pretty insidious. But what it kind of does is, if there are quality Black Republicans like Will Hurd in Texas, like Michael Steele, there's no space for them, because now it's been overtaken by all these clowns. It's been colonized by all these clowns. So the face of Black conservatives is Herschel Walker and Candace Owens and Kanye West.
Imagine that. You know, I think that Herschel Walker has been a devastating development in Tim Scott's plight to become the vice presidential nominee, because now, like you said, this buffoon is the new face of Black Republicanism. Because before Herschel Walker, you know, it really was kind of like a Tim Scott. It wasn't popular, you know, but in terms of the elected space, you had a Tim Scott was the most prominent one. That was the one they tried to say they're gonna make him the VP. I feel like now with Herschel Walker hopefully getting ready to go down in flames, I think he's probably done a lot of damage to any notion that they have to put a token Black person on the ticket. That's my prediction.
And the thing is, they want a Black face to also call on their Blackness selectively. So
like Daniel Cameron did.
Daniel Cameron will call on their Blackness when talking about Breonna Taylor being killed, or Tim Scott bringing up cotton to Congress, or Herschel Walker, or Condoleezza Rice always saying, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. What'd you say?
She like to do that. She like to talk about how she's Southern and Birmingham. Girl,
they selectively call on it and then say that we as Black Democrats or Black folks on the left or progressive, we talk too much about race.
Imagine
that. So it's an interesting game, but when you are in a party that is packed with grifters, I guess there is nobody you can really trust, because part of the way to win is to sell the lie, sell the fantasy, even if it means selling out people who look like you. Like, again, Herschel Walker making egregious comments about Black fathers. When you are a Black father, allegedly ain't taking care of your kids. That's the hypocrisy. And if it was the D or the R saying that, I wouldn't care. That is hypocrisy. I do not like hypocrisy in my politics. Full stop.